Alright guys, how's it going? I know you're probably not getting a whole lot of my head in here, but that's not what you need to see today. What we're here to do today is something that pretty much every Beretta owner should do. Okay, when these things come to you, they've got what Beretta considers about a 20-pound mainspring. Okay, it looks something like this guy right here. This one's a Wilson Combat spring. This gun actually has a D-spring in it, but real quick, we're going to show you how you install a D-spring. So I've got some other stuff up here that may or may not be in camera view, but this is a 96A1, okay? So the 96A1 is just like any 92 or 96 series pistol from Beretta. It's got the double action trigger, okay? Chamber's clear, mag is out, we're safe. Now, gun's off safe, but we're empty. What I was going to say is these things with their double action triggers here, one stage, right, and then your second stage. Well, these two stages are great because especially for loaded carry, it's really hard to have an accidental firing in your holster by grabbing it. You know you're going to have that first stage and you're really going to have to pull it to go to that second. So it's good and it's bad too because a lot of people, because the trigger pull is so difficult from a factory Beretta, since it's got so much strength in the mainspring, they tend to be pulling the gun down when they're firing. So you want to lighten up the trigger, you want to help your accuracy with the Beretta. This is what you want to do. Now this gun here, we're going to go ahead and start by removing the two screws on each side of the grip panels. And this gun here is a 96A1, okay? The A series is made in Italy still, where 92 FSs and stuff will be made in America. And the difference is, you know, some people might say the Italian guns have a little bit better fit, and washers, don't lose those, a little bit better fit and finish than the American guns do. And I can't say that I've noticed that, but one change that is definite and noticeable is this guy here. An American-made Beretta will have this mainspring, what you call a dog bone pin, and the Italy guns, like this one, have actually like a roll punch, and this punch hasn't been pushed out yet. I mean, it has, but not and replaced with a dog bone, which is what we're going to do here today, just so that I can use, I have a bunch of springs up here, like I said, and I'm going to find the right weight for this gun, because it's going to run a 22, a 357, a 40, and a 9mm slide on it, and I need to find basically the softest spring that'll still fire the 22 long rifle rounds, because right now with the D-spring I'm having somewhere in the vicinity of like 20% failure to fire. So hopefully we're going to go ahead and take care of those issues with the correct spring weight, and we're also going to install this Wilson Combat Action tune kit and in Laney Arms from Josh over there, a speed bump trigger. So to do a bunch of stuff on this gun, but like I said, for right now, this is just the D-spring swap. Real easy. All we've done is pull the grips. We've got our pin going back in. Since this is still a roll pin punch, we need to get something to get it out of there, and it is in there quite well. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a piece of wood with leather on it that I use, and an appropriately sized Allen wrench. See if I can get one out of here. That's about right. And I'm going to start the process of just knocking that out. Okay, now we've run that punch out, and you can see it's a punch. It's an ugly punch. Now we're going to replace it with this little dog bone. Okay, but first want to leave this Allen wrench in there, okay? And we're going to take pressure off of it by just, now we can move it freely because we're just releasing the pressure on the D-spring back there, okay? And what you're going to do, once you have that out, you release the tension, just pull this out, and there's my D-spring. Now this gun already had a D-spring in it, okay? When you get your D-spring, and all springs really, some springs may already be flattened, some may not. I use, this is a 120 grit, and then this is a 320, okay? And then I have a 600, and then a 1200. and so I'll step up each time, doubling, or roughly. Okay, so I've got this wolf spring here, and this one had rounded edges. Okay, this D spring already came to me flat, but I noticed some rough spots, so I'm going to polish it up here. And this is what I do. I just do this, starting at about 200, 400, 800, 1600, you know, or 100, 200, 400, 12, 800, 1200, whatever you got. And you're just trying to polish it. You just want to make the ends flat and polish any rough marks out that you made while you were sanding with the lower grits. Okay. Alright, if you can see it, that's a flat edge with a high polish. That's what you're looking for. So, once you've got your D-spring all sanded up, and you've got your 92FS dog bone pin, just swap your D-spring in where your old one was. There's a little, what they call a strut in there, a hammer strut, and you slide this over the strut, and it'll drop down in there. Then, take your lanyard loop insert, slide it over the spring. Make sure you line up the holes here and here, so that you know when you compress this to put back in your dog bone pin, that you know you're lined up, so you don't have to worry about that too much. Okay, so I'm just going to do it like this. And this is kind of a pain. It'll slide right in though. Watch. Boom. Bingo. Just take some tension off it, straighten it up. There we go. Now, if you see that dog bone pin is in there now. It's pretty well done. All I'm going to do is put the grips back on. Now, if you want to change it, here's the great part. From now on, no longer do you have to beat the snot out of this thing to get it out like you saw me do. And if you'll look, once they've been taken out once or twice, I don't know if you guys can see it, but they get kind of a bend to them. You know, they start to bow, and it becomes a real pain to get them in and out. So now, let's say I had this gun and I put the D spring, and now, like me, I got a 22 conversion, and so I want to go to this wolf spring right here. All I do is put it over a nice drop like this surface here, okay, and I'll just take the tension off. The dog bone pin's going to slide right out. There it goes. Just like that. Now I can just pull that, pull my D spring out, replace it with my mainspring. Any mainspring I want. And you can use a variety, okay? You got, let's see, talking about a few. I believe it's the Ed Brown 1911 competition mainspring. Wolf has an entire line. Now remember, a factory Beretta spring is 20 pounds, a D spring is 16, okay? So these Wolf spring, roughly, these springs from Wolf are rated everywhere from 19 to 12 pounds. So I've got a huge gamut here. I'm going to be able to find the spring for me. A couple of other options is the 1911 springs. You can use those main springs, but do keep in mind that, you know, their 16-pound spring is really like a Beretta 12 or 13 pounds, so you're losing a couple pounds there. But you can get theirs up to extremely heavy weights, you know, 25s and stuff like that. And that's gonna help with your trigger pull, okay? Because the main spring is how much force we're applying to the hammer as it falls by the spring shoving it back. So when you're calculating your mainspring, you can go up and down. You want to go as light as you can where the trigger feels good for you while you still ignite your primers, and it's not so light that you're going to shoot yourself in the foot trying to pull it out of your holster. And if you get that far with a dual action Beretta, let me know, because I'd be really impressed. And it's installed. All I do is put my grips back on and I'd be done. But instead, I'm going to do a double video today. That's how to install your D-spring. Now I'm going to go ahead and take all that back apart and show you how to do a trigger job. So we're going to polish our trigger, we're going to polish our hammer, we're going to polish our sear, we're going to polish our hammer strut, we're going to polish, we're going to polish and replace the trigger bar, and we're going to install the short reach trigger from Mulaney Arms with the speed bump on it right there on the back. And that'll take up some of the over travel that I've been noticing. So hopefully that'll be the next video. Stay tuned. Thanks for watching. Alex from Texas. Stay smart, stay safe, stay shooting. YouTube, bring back advertising. I'd appreciate it. I saw Pop's Quest video about how to use your tax purposes for your YouTube channel. Thought it was great. Most people need to understand that stuff. But come on, don't take away our advertising as well. All right, guys.